spring and summer of 2009, I kept hearing about a kid who was potentially coming to our school. Everyone was making a big deal about this kid as the next big thing to come out of our city. I knew who the kid was, not from personal interaction, but because his older brother had come to our school, and I had played against his father around the city in different venues. I had coached his brother for a number of years, and his brother was a phenomenal talent. He was phenomenal for us at the high school level. He went down to the US, he played on a Division I scholarship, he was the captain of his team, and now he plays pro overseas. Even though his brother was that good, most of the talk around that family was around this young boy. So with all the talk that surrounded this young man, I was excited to see what we were in for. So we have a tradition at our school where every Monday night prior to the start of our practice season, we get together and we play for 2 hours, just kind of an open ball. So on the first Monday night that this young man comes to our school, he gets invited out to our run, he comes out and he plays. And the words that he said that night will always stay with me. He had never lost so much in his life. Now granted, this was a young man. He just moved into high school as a freshman, as a grade 9. He hadn't had a lot of life yet. But this was the most he had ever lost. This was a kid who was so talented, he basically won wherever he went. But when he came here as a freshman, he lost every game his first Monday night. He had huge expectations for himself. Probably a lot that were put on him by other people, but he had huge expectations for his ability. He thought he was going to be able to come in and continue winning just as he had won up until this point. He didn't understand that the level of play had been raised. And boy, did he get whooped and whooped and whooped that night. That was the moment when he realized he'd been playing in a pond and really the game is an ocean. So typically when we talk about development, we talk about different stages of development, that players accelerate through certain stages that are kind of natural as they grow older. Well, for the next 2 years, he blew all those stages out of the water. Anything that was typical, he overcame that very quickly. Not because he was so talented, but because he was committed to learning. He accepted the failures he experienced and was determined to overcome those failures, to put them behind him. The lesson from this story is clear. Seek failure, because it's the only place you're going to grow.
All right, I hope you found that 60-second lesson helpful and can use it to improve your game. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button down there and visit mybasketballteacher.com to become a student of the game.